Okay.
All right. Excellent.
Excellent.
Woo!
Okay. Extreme close up. Whoa! 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 Excellent. Extreme close up. Okay, now's the time for Wayne's World. Totally amazing. Excellent discovery.
I just hate it when the girl says, wait, wait, wait. I really want her by my side. Don't hesitate. I really want her by my side. But hold on through. Do all the things I want to do. Well, come on, baby, don't leave me saying that you're good looking. The best I had, make it love, make it love, make it love, all night long, make it love, make it love.
Tulsa Music Stream. Welcome with your hosts, Janice Squires and Scott Squires.
Red light, don't say no. I really want her, she says stop, baby, go, go, go. I really want her by my side. We're not through, do all the things that we won't do. Come on, baby, don't leave me saying that you're looking the best I had. Make it love, make it love, make it love, all night long, make it love, make it love, make it love, all night. All night long, make it love, make it love, make it love. All night long, make it love, make it love, make it love. All night long, make it love, make it love, make it love. All
Welcome to another edition of Tulsa Music Stream. I'm your host, Janice Squires. This is my very essential co-host, Scott Squires. How you doing, Scotty?
I'm feeling essential.
Are you essential?
I feel more sensual, like a sensual essential.
Sensual essential.
Right.
Say that 5 times.
Oh, man, absolutely.
Man, well, it's great to be back.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing well. I hope you guys are too. Hope you still have hair in your head. Don't tear it all out just yet. We're going to get through this just fine. We did this last week. I don't think we realized how much fun we were going to have. We signed off. We were like, man, could have kept going for 2 more hours. It was just, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Such a good time.
And well, there were some things that I learned about myself watching that back, that first episode.
Yep.
I've some things that I learned about myself was that I said shit tons. I said shit tons a lot, and I was scratching my leg,
Right.
and pulling my jean up, and my jeans up, and I was like, wow. I said, I can't be doing that,
It's a nervous tick.
Right.
It's weird. It's like we can't see you all, but we know you're watching. Like 47 people are watching our dog and pony show right now. That's a little weird.
Did you learn anything about yourself watching it?
Yeah, I learned that the porch is not a good place to do this show.
Very windy. It was very windy. We had to change the course in 30 minutes, an hour, 30 minutes before we went on air.
Right.
Because we had no background. We had to pull out banners and
it was a
duct
mess.
tape. And
it was a mess. That's what happens when you're not pros.
Right,
but that's okay. I mean, we're basically doing this to kill boredom and to bring you guys some enjoyment, hopefully, to your evening.
Right. So we brought everything in upstairs, made a makeshift studio.
Yep. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Tell them what all we did this week.
So all week we were pulling up all these heavy amps and all this stuff out of the garage because we thought about doing it in the garage, but then we thought, well, in the winter it gets cold, we'd have to worry about heat, and then summer it gets hot. It's like, let's just take it upstairs, and it's a spare room, and we just said, let's turn it into a little streaming studio.
Right.
And just, the thing about doing all that is we had to come up with ideas, with the show, but with all the equipment. And like, we had to find things around the house because, one, music stores are closed.
Right.
Pawn shops are closed. A lot of electronic stores are closed. So there's patches and cables and just everything.
This
so
is very janky ghetto setup. Not going to lie. It is far from professional, but
we're getting it through, and then, why not?
It's going to get better, though, honestly.
But yeah, it was. I hope you guys. I hope it looks good over on your end, and we've got some fun toys and stuff, and I thought we'd just have some fun with everything, and have a good Saturday night while we're all social distancing.
Absolutely.
Say that 5 times.
I can't. Essential. What was the other one? Sensual essential.
Sensual essential.
It sounds dirty, but anyway. But hey, we're going to have a good time tonight. Julie Smart is going to be calling in around 8 o'clock.
Julie in the Retrospex.
Julie in the Retrospex. She's going to be calling in. We're going to spin a tune from one of our favorite local bands, Muddflux.
Muddflux, a song called Carousel.
Yep. So we're going to do that. We're going to take your questions. We are going to try to do a call-in segment later. We are really flying by the seat of our pants. Again, this is kind of just all pieced together. It's going to get better over time, but we want to do this for real, and we want you guys to be a part of it. So, and
make sure you share this on your pages. The more, the merrier. We need to share this on as much stuff as we possibly can, and that way, because our first episode we actually got almost 1,000 views.
Yep.
And on our page, our Tulsa music stream music. We now hit 500 likes or whatever, and so that's good. I mean, we just started that yesterday, and eventually we'll get more stuff where like software, so we can do more fun things and a little more professional stuff and all that. But it's going to take some time, a little money. This is, a lot of people were telling us this is like a money pit, and so far it has been. We got stuff that's coming in the mail, but see, the mail's taken forever, so a lot of the stuff that we wanted to do, it hasn't been here yet.
It'll arrive by the time we can go back and play live shows again, right?
Absolutely, but we can continue to do this.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Absolutely.
But make sure you share our page, Tulsa Music Stream, and hit like on it, and make sure you comment and leave us some hearts and smiley faces and thumbs ups. Thank you.
No middle fingers, though. But one quick shout-out, thanks to our awesome drummer, Jeff Williams, for letting us borrow his board.
All right, yeah.
Making things possible. So, again, it's pieced together, but we're going to have fun. And that's what we're here to do tonight, is have fun and just let off some steam. So why don't we get into our first segment?
Okay. Celebrity tweets.
Celebrity tweets. We thought it would be fun to look up and see what some of our. Oh, I got to turn that down. See, this is the kind of stuff that gets you. But we thought it'd be fun to look up some celebrity tweets and see what the celebs had to say this week.
Yeah.
I'll have to turn that down later. But why don't you take the first one whenever you're ready? I want you to read this first one.
So Tommy Lee, I guess when he put out a funny tweet that said, look, if Joe Exotic can turn 2 straight men gay, then we can come up with a cure for the coronavirus. It was Tommy Lee. What do you think about that?
Well, my question for you is, so he says, look, if Joe Exotic can turn 2 straight men gay, then we can come up with a cure for the coronavirus. My question is, how many men has Tommy Lee turned gay? Actually, wait, no, I got 2 questions. How many men has Tommy Lee turned gay?
Right.
And how many men has Tommy Lee turned to hip-hop? Because I'm guessing it's high on both accounts, right?
Well, I can imagine, since he went from rocker to DJ and all that,
Right.
I'm sure he's probably turned a few long-haired dudes into
short-haired dudes.
Yeah.
They like to throw down the
homeboy stuff.
The homeboy stuff,
Right.
and that's okay. I mean, teach
West
their own.
Side.
Right. So I'm going to take the next tweet. Scott and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. This is from our favorite celebrity comedian, Kathy Griffin. In response to a tweet from President Trump talking about the U.S. doing far more COVID testing than any other nation, comedian Kathy Griffin tweeted, "He's lying. I was sent to the COVID-19 isolation ward room in a major hospital ER from a separate urgent care facility after showing unbearably painful symptoms. The hospital couldn't test me for coronavirus because of CDC Pence Task Force restrictions. Hashtag test, test, test." In reality, Kathy Griffin had an abdominal infection, abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, and a cough.
She's a drama queen.
You know,
I mean,
her
straight
symptoms sound like what happens to me when we go over here across the street to favorite Mexican restaurant, Rincon.
Right.
I have these same symptoms
Did
every
you hear
time.
those Tweety birds, those tweets?
Are they tweeting?
They're tweeting.
They're so cute.
Wow.
I love it. But anyway, an X-ray revealed her lungs were clear. A scan revealed the abdominal infection. So all is well in the world of Kathy Griffin. Now, what I wondered...
Attention whore.
Well, you know, did she drag that fake, severed, bloody Trump head into the hospital with her? Because I'll bet that thing was also exhibiting symptoms of coronavirus, right? Had that super sore throat, shortness of breath.
Right.
Hopefully it got a test as well. I don't know.
Oh, excellent, excellent. All right. Well, that's celebrity tweets.
Can the birds keep going?
No,
Dang,
they got to go.
I enjoy that. We had to lock the cats out because they were all over the gear. So no animals tonight. Mm-hmm. But let's, I wanted to, you know, we signed off. I talked about how we signed off, and we were both like, man, there was so much more we could say and talk about. So I just wanted to kind of circle back around to you and say, were there any more memories from your musical past that you wanted to share? Or just any cool stories that maybe you didn't get to last week?
Well, definitely Rocklahoma was an experience. And speaking of Rocklahoma, you know, I guess we got the news yesterday
well,
that they've...
yeah, it's not official, but stuff.
I'm wearing the shirt, Rocklahoma.
Got the Spirit of Rocklahoma DEB concerts. Doug Burgess has the Roadhouse stage out there.
Yeah, Roadhouse. So they kind of had to shut that thing down.
Well,
but,
we think so. We think the official word is coming. I guess one of the acts accidentally leaked it out on their page.
Liliac, right?
Well, I wasn't going to name the name, but yes, it was them. It's okay.
It's all over Facebook.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, word is that they're going to shut that thing down too, which totally sucks.
So all these festivals and these concerts, I mean, do you think Motley Crue, Poison, Def Leppard, do you think is that going to shut down too? Or
I don't even want to think about it. I'm honestly, you're probably like me and just taking this thing one day at a time,
right?
And trying not to get too emotionally overwhelmed.
Now, speaking of Doug Burgess, with the DB concerts, they have a show at the BOK, Poison, Cinderella, and Sebastian Bach, and I think that's
awesome.
July 13th.
I mean,
so hopefully we can get that right.
I'm hoping. Could those guys have scored a bigger show than that? That's so awesome. We're so proud of our local people that are just doing so awesome in everything they do.
I know they got the one show, IDL, that they had to move.
Right.
With the
it was a Texas Hippie Coalition,
right.
So that's rescheduled.
Poster Child and Sweat and Bullets.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say any dates right now are just very fluid.
So I had, back when we did the first Rocklahoma, we did, I don't know, 3 or 4 Rocklahomas. Right. All of them were fun, but the first one was a blast
07,
because we got a 2007. We got a mobile home, or not a mobile home, but what do you call those little campers?
An RV.
RV.
Very expensive to rent, by the way.
And so it was a crazy, didn't get much sleep or anything like that, and got to hang out backstage. This is back when they let the bands like us hang out, and I got to meet with a lot of cool people. And so that was a really, really fun experience. Met, the guys from Quiet Riot, Kevin DeBro, and it was just amazing. The guys from Skid Row, and so that was one of my, more fun moments with, Down for Five. And
right.
Now, I don't know if you remember when we went to California and we went and played in Hollywood. I think we did 3 shows there. So,
definitely.
That was pretty crazy. We get to go on top of Capitol Records, and we got to see when we had our first album mastered, and we got to go on top of it and look down it and see all of Los Angeles and the Hollywood signs. So that was really a fun time, and just walking down, Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood Boulevard,
right.
and seeing all the cool things, and hanging out at Pink's and meeting Lemmy on the Strip. I was in a van changing to my clothes. We were playing at the Cat Club. and we just pulled up in our van, and we haven't gotten to a hotel yet. So I'm changing to my leather pants, and I'm getting in my legs, and I'm in the middle of Sunset Strip, and here comes Lemmy from Motorhead with Phil and his entourage. And so I finally hurry up and get all my stuff, and I see them coming up, and I had this cool hat on. He had this hat on, and I said, hey, I got a hat just like you, or I had a pin on my hat just like his, little skull and crossbones.
Right.
And I said, hey, I'm Scott from Tulsa. And he looked right at me, and he says, we played not too long ago a show in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the Cain's Ballroom.
Right.
And this is me just saying hi to him, okay?
Right.
This is his response to my hello, I'm from Tulsa. And he says, guess how many people were there? And I thought, it's Motorhead, I don't know if, a few thousand,
right.
4 or 5, I don't know.
Right.
And he says, 30. And he turns around and walks into the club.
And that was your experience with Lemmy, right?
Oh, yeah, that was cool, man. It's like, all right, man.
That trip really was cool. I guess that would have been, was that 06 that we went to L.A. with Down for Five?
06.
06,
yeah, absolutely.
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I have to give our singer Syke props, because he and our good buddy Toby Mask, they did a lot of the driving, if I remember correctly. And Syke did it. Okay, Syke did the driving. And I mean, that was the trip that showed me I am not cut out for the road. I'm too soft and squishy. I have too many needs. I'm not that tough. And so we're driving and we're driving and we're driving, and then we drive some more and we're still not there. And I remember it was like middle of the night, and I think I had a little breakdown. Here I am in a van with 5 guys.
There's about 5 or 6 people, and it's a pretty extended van,
right.
But there was nowhere to lay down
right.
much, And so we pulled over in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And you remember what I said, right? I was like, you guys let me out of this van. I have to get some sleep. I don't even care if I have to sleep on this parking lot.
Right. So
I was going to sleep on a parking lot.
You went out in the parking lot and
right.
realized how uncomfortable and hot and hard.
Dangerous.
Dangerous that was.
Yeah. So
they're all learning curves. We have a learning curve with this the stream here, and we had a learning curve with that ordeal. So
I think
fun.
I was weak, but that really was a neat trip to L.A. It was cool and it was sad all at the same time, because here we were on the Strip. We had a few shows that Syke had gotten lined up for us, and God bless Syke, man. He was putting a lot of money into the band back then. He financed the Time Has Come album, largely, and put a lot of money into the mastering. I mean, who can say they've had an album mastered at Capitol Records?
Right.
That's pretty awesome. So I'll forever be grateful for him making that happen for us. But we go out there and we're playing, like 3 shows on the Strip, and you're like, man, this is where all our heroes walked. Right. This is where they all basically went from being nobody to being huge. So you feel that vibe, yet it's like a ghost town. And that part of it I found kind of sad, It's just like it was a mixture of emotions the whole trip.
Yes.
But it was definitely a good memory.
We ate at some really cool restaurants, and so who was the actor?
Lawrence Fishburne was at Pink's
in line with us to get some hot dogs and stuff.
Right.
And I saw him, and I was like,
"You almost went fanboy."
Oh yeah, I totally went fanboy. You just don't sit in line for an
take you
outside
anywhere.
hot dog stand, and
No.
there's Lawrence right behind you.
Right.
And then we went and sat down, and he's like, when the next table over, I'm like,
Try not to
what
stare.
What the hell is this boy
staring
eating?
at his hot
I wonder
dogs?
what he's eating over there. I'm going to order what he's eating.
See, he and I are so different. Like, you just go fanboy. I'm totally opposite. I'm like, I don't want to bother this guy.
I'm
they get
in
bothered.
Oklahoma. There's not much,
Not much going on here?
Like, as far as that type of excitement,
Hey.
we see Joe Dirts and stuff, but there's, no Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, man. You just haven't met Biker Fox yet. Just give it time.
Biker Fox.
Right.
So let me think. Let me ask you a question, okay?
Oh, okay.
So what musicians do you wish that you could play with, or wish that you could play with again?
I'm going to have to say, I want to play with Dawkins again, and I'm trying really hard to get John Levin fired. I keep, I think Don's got my number blocked. I keep calling, and it just goes to the out of service message. But no, that was such a cool deal. Playing with Dawkins was so cool, and then
And we can find that video on YouTube, by the way, as well.
Yeah, they let me. We'll talk more about that later. But yeah, I got to get up and play with Doc, and that was cool. I want to play with. I wish I could have played with Robin Crosby.
Right.
Just because he's so pretty.
Tall.
Very, very tall.
He's the king.
He just seemed like a cool dude, and I think he's constantly underrated and not recognized for how cool he made Rat. So.
Well, he was one of the main songwriters, and that's. Him and Steven had a lot to do with that.
Right.
Warren wrote some, but he was mostly doing the solos type thing. And,
right.
Robin was a major songwriter in the band, and Steven, with the melodies and the lyrics. And so you take one ingredient out, and then boom, you're
totally different ball game.
You gotta learn some things. I mean,
and that seems to be the case a lot. A lot of times, it's like a band will have a guy who maybe doesn't do all the shredding solos, but he does all the writing. And it's just you don't have a band without good writing, and so love Robin. Now, as far as local guys, this guy is my hero. I want to play, or I wish I could play with Mark Mortensen.
Oh yeah,
he's so creative. You got to understand, Mark is like multifaceted, talented. He does all this studio stuff that he's just kind of learned on his own. The guy can shred. He did that shredding solo on Mirage on Heroes and Devils.
I think his main thing is his rhythm playing.
That's what I was getting to. He is so solid, such a solid rhythm player. I love doing stuff in the studio with him because he just comes up with cool ideas. And honest to goodness, his rhythm playing is it's just like a chainsaw, and it's just tight and solid, and I'm a big Mark fan, so maybe someday. What about you?
Locally, there's been I've played with a lot of good drummers, but it was kind of, of course, Jeff, he's fun to play with.
He's my hero.
But another drummer I wouldn't mind playing with would be Matt Brantley again. When I was in Nothing Face, he was fun to play with. On the larger scale, who I would like to play with, I would like to write a song with Nikki Sixx and go in the studio, and just do a song together. If I sing, he play bass or whatever, or just write a song together. Because I think you'd be kind of fun to be bossed around in a studio, because I wouldn't know half the shit.
I'll bet he'd yell at you big time.
I know it. Get out of my refrigerator!
Right.
Get out of my pool!
But I do want to say the guys that we're playing with right now, that would be Syke and Jeff in Down for Five, and Jeff and Derek in Rocket Science. I absolutely love playing with all of them. They're all so talented, so professional, and just the most genuine, nice people. And finding nice people in music is hard.
So you brought up Derek, which we didn't get to mention in the first episode.
No.
He's fun to play with.
Man, he's awesome. He's an old soul. He's a kid. He's 30, right?
Yeah. And what's amazing is he knows just the same amount of old school stuff, if not more.
He knows way more than I do. That's one thing that would shock people about me. My music knowledge window is not that wide, but he's teaching me all the time.
Yeah.
So I love our guys, definitely.
Fun guy, fun.
I have to ask you, what is the worst thing that has ever happened to you on stage?
I say the worst thing was when we were in, I want to say, was it Salina? What was that, Harbor Lights?
Oh, was this with Octane Blue?
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely the worst thing, at least while I've known you.
Yeah.
That was horrendous. Tell them that story.
So we were at this club called Harbor Lights off the lake or something, and these people got really drunk, and there was a Native American lady, very tall.
It was her birthday.
It was her birthday, and I don't know how many tequila shots this woman had or what she had, but she was gone. We were playing, and we were saying happy birthday or something, and then after that we did a song, and we stopped, and then she charged the stage,
right,
picked me up, cupped my balls with her hand, right, and this is a big girl,
yeah,
and cupped my balls,
right,
and I had my microphone,
right,
and she lifted me up in the air and was bear hugging me
by the balls.
just just squeezing me tight and would
Right.
not let go.
Right.
And then dropped me down. And then she started to walk off the stage, and she turned around and did that to me again.
Yep.
In the meantime, I'm looking at all my band members, and they're all just laughing.
Me
They're
included.
thinking it's the most funniest thing ever, and I'm pissed. I mean, I am livid, and I'm mad at the band. Like, why didn't you do something?
Well, I was a girl. I always have that
but,
excuse, right?
They thought it was funnier and shit, and I was like, I turned around, I looked at our Pee Wee, our drummer, and I was like, man, I don't care what happens. I don't care if I go to jail, but if she does that again, I'm knocking her out.
Man, that
Luckily,
was bad.
it never happened again, but that was probably one of the worst
Right.
experiences.
I definitely concur with that. I tell you what mine was. It was a couple years ago at Rocklahoma. And I mean, you talk about a nightmare scenario. I don't know if you remember this or not, but that was when we played the outdoor stage. This was 2018. And we're down to probably
Was that D&B processing stage?
Yes.
Okay.
We're down to probably you're getting to where it's like 7-8 minutes before you're supposed to start. So I throw my guitar around my neck and I'm tuning and the guitar's not going in tune. I'm like, what is going on? I mean, it was way out. Couldn't figure it out.
Right.
Could not figure. It was killing. I mean, I'm freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
We're down to like 5 minutes. So finally, the sun's shining down, so it kind of makes
Yeah, you couldn't see.
No, your pedals, like the lighting on your pedals is all washed out by the sun. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, what is going on with my guitar? Well, I look over at my stupid whammy pedal. If the players out there will know what I'm talking about. And my whammy pedal is on, and it's pressed down ever so slightly, which, of course, is just throwing all the tuning out. Well, dumb me. So we're down to probably 4 minutes, and by this point, my main guitar is all completely whacked out of tune. So I'm taking it off, and I grab my backup guitar, which I bought from Pete Turley.
Right.
And, it's a good guitar, but it's like a lower model Jackson. If you see the pictures from 2018, I've got like this burgundy colored Jackson. That's my backup guitar. And I barely got it in tune by the time we had to start. But that
Wow.
was probably one of the worst things that's ever happened.
Yeah, that was pretty stressful.
Very
I didn't think we were
stressful.
going to come pull that one out.
You guys they were staring at me like, get it together, girl. What is going on with you? It's pretty
All right.
nerve-wracking.
So,
I need to ask you this one.
okay.
This is, and I want you to be honest. This is a real deal. Have you ever gotten into a fist fight with a bandmate? And if so, what happened and how did you get it resolved?
Probably one time, but it wasn't like on stage or anything like that.
You've never gotten in a fist fight on stage in
No.
all your bands?
No, I've never been like in any kind of a fist fight. Maybe some arguments, and I've seen some injuries. Where people would jump up and then
Right.
hurt their knees and have to go to the hospital immediately after that sort of thing.
Has anybody ever tried to jump up on stage while you're playing and like knock you guys out?
Well, yeah, a couple times. There was hecklers and
Right.
a lot of bullshit and going on. I remember one time it was at Windjammer, and there was this guy and he was heckling me, and we said something, and he tried to get up on stage, and I think our singer told him, like, you do that again, I'm going to bust you over the head with a mic, or maybe he did, or something. I forget what happened, but I got in a fight with a band member back in 2000 or so.
Right.
But that was just between us.
You guys worked it out,
Right,
though,
yeah.
obviously. Didn't kill the band or anything.
Right.
That's cool. I have never been in a fist fight with a bandmate. I might start one tonight. I don't know. Might take you out. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, bands are like
shut this door real
marriages.
quick.
You always hear that bands are like marriages, and it's true. It's very give and take, or at least it should be, in order for it to work and everybody to feel like they're having their voice heard.
I had to shut the door because of, those cats would come in here and
They want to be in here
they'll
so
jump on
bad.
this table and knock everything over.
Yeah, it'll get ugly if they come in. But yeah, I mean, you just got to work out your differences. It's I used to think a band could be run like a democracy. I think that's the correct term, where everybody has a say. And to an extent, that's true. But really, when it boils down to it, you do have to have a band leader. Some guys are more gifted in like the business side, handling the booking, handling the just the talking with club owners and negotiating and all that stuff. And
Right.
and then some guys are maybe skilled with graphics and this and that. But ultimately you do have to have a leader that kind of sets the direction of the band. Like, I think this is where we need to go. Because if you don't have a leader and everyone's trying to be, what's the word? Well, equally, everything's spread around equally. A lot of times it's like you don't go anywhere because people are waiting for someone else to make the next move. So.
Gotcha.
Anyway.
So how's everybody doing out there? We're just sitting here having a conversation. Is everyone doing okay with your social distancing?
We've got 78 people watching right now.
All right.
Oh, 76. We just lost. That's okay. That's incredible. I'm actually really amazed at that number. We thought we'd be lucky to get 10 or 20 on here. So
yeah. Do you see any comments?
I do. There's actually
Wayne
there's
Adams,
a ton.
Stacy Vance just joined.
Yep.
Randy Jennings joined. There I see Chris Powell. Right on. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
There's a ton of stuff on here, and it's hard to sit here and talk and follow the sheet and then also follow the comments. So I apologize if some of actually all of your comments are getting that we see them, but we can't respond to all of them. So if we don't mention them on the air, we'll make sure we go back and at least answer them in writing. But wow, we're just learning on the fly.
That's right, man. We're just doing our thing. Maybe in a year. I think we're like one of the newest, hottest video streams out there right now. What do you think?
That's pretty confident. You're pretty self-confident there.
We're kind of a hot thing going right now.
Is that what it is?
New and improved.
We needed like a third person in here to be our producer.
I feel like we already need a producer, to be honest with you, because it's very stressful. You have no idea how stressful it is because you have to maybe some of you do, but I mean just testing everything, making sure the lighting's right, making sure you got your microphones correct and you got the right equipment and things are lining out and all this nonsense and it's a lot of stress.
It is.
But it's been keeping us we've been losing actual sleep because we've been staying up, doing this, and you go to bed and you're so wound up you can't get to bed and you have to work.
I know.
I'm having to go to the couch and tossing and turning because my brain's just on 100.
Even the melatonin didn't work.
I know.
I took like 5 melatonin. I was still wired. But,
yeah.
But it is fun. But yeah, we hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, if we're probably going to miss your comments live. But when we get to the section in the show where we start taking viewer questions, we'll circle
this
back
could
around.
even be a question for the people out there who are musicians, and they can put this in the comment as well. But I'm going to ask you, what was the furthest gig you've had to travel to? Where did you? How far was this?
Man, I did some. I mean, we've all done some doozies,
Right.
The first real band I was in was with Syke and Pee Wee, and it was called Slamcat. Slamcat, and that was like that. See, I was in a totally different circle than you guys were in the '90s. We were in the Christian music scene, and at least the part that I was involved with, the scenes didn't really mix too much. So I like all these legends around here. Mm-hmm. A lot of them I didn't even meet till like the early mid 2000s. So, but in the '90s, we were doing the Slamcat thing, and man, we drove and did this little tour. We went up to we didn't play in Canada, but we went up to Canada to see the Hockey Hall of Fame, which was so awesome. And we played some probably 5 people shows, but the one I'm thinking of is probably the one you're thinking of.
San Jose.
Oh,
what was that? Was it San Jose?
Well, I was thinking the one in Colorado.
Well, that was far, but I think
you said the first. Oh,
remember when we went to that? We played that little show, and it was like a music seminar, or whatever.
Yep.
And we had that hotel, man, talking about. And we remember we were basically going around like mountainside roads,
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a long drive,
it
took forever. And of course, the Colorado one was a long drive with very little amounts of people.
Yeah.
We were in a cabin with Tom Green.
Tom and Angie.
And that was an experience because remember we played this festival. It was called the
was it the South Park
Music Festival?
Not related to the TV show.
There was a skateboarding. What do they call those little?
Like, was it a half pipe?
Hell yeah, right. One of those type things where they skateboard, and that was kind of like out front, and the stage was further back, and there's this lot of land, and there was just people just kind of sprinkled, peppered through there, And when we played, I think there was like maybe 2-3 people watching us with their dogs, and the two dogs were chasing each other around, like making little dirt little dust bunnies, or what are they called, little dirt. Whatever.
Nothing will bring you down to earth than playing for like 3 people in lawn chairs and 2 Doberman pinschers running around in front of you.
And we were playing some heavy music, and they were just going around in circles.
It's like a little mosh pit, little dog mosh pit.
And I remember sitting there, and we're just rocking out, headbanging. I'm looking, well, I hope these dogs appreciate this.
They did. I know they did.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, the things you do to try to make it in this business. I know all you guys out there know what I'm talking about. We do it because we love it, right?
That's right.
So let's see what we've got next. Here's a tough one. This is kind of deep. Do you play music mostly for self-gratification or to feel approval from others? Ooh.
I think a little of both.
Yeah.
For me.
Yep.
I mean, I don't really need a whole lot of approval from others.
That's awesome, because some people do.
It's nice to be appreciated for what you do.
Right.
But like I've always said, or I said in the first episode, is, I enjoy music because it's just fun.
Right.
Dressing up, getting up there, and just doing these songs, and you have this cool light show, and you're just having a good time, and people are having a good time. That's what I like is seeing others have a good time.
Absolutely.
So it's not really, and that's my self gratification, is seeing others have a great time.
Yeah, I agree.
Do I go home and relive all that stuff in my head? Sure,
Right.
I do. And then, but you watch the videos and things like that, and it's like, well, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, I need to correct this, I need to correct that. But I mean, it's good to be appreciated,
right.
and people listen to your music or come to your shows and have a good time. That's what I like.
Right. And I know I started playing music as it was like a form of escape for me. I started when I was 12, and my brother left his guitar behind when he went to college, so I picked it up and started playing it and just got obsessed with it. So, at that time it was like all about just, man, this is my escape, and it kept me out of trouble, which was a good thing. I really pretty squeaky clean, because of music, which is interesting, but that's how it worked out for me. But then as time goes along and you start playing and you start, when people are appreciative of what you do and they show approval, I think as human beings, we're kind of wired to want that approval, and hey, they like what I'm doing, and that makes me feel good inside because they're responding favorably to my efforts. So it's almost like a drug, it's
right,
like,
right.
oh, I want more and more of that. I want
right.
people, and I don't know if you're like me, but I want everyone's approval, but there's nothing quite as satisfying as pure musician approval.
Right, and there's nothing more disappointing than an empty bar.
Yeah,
That's
the worst.
And it's like, then you start questioning things.
Right.
You really start questioning yourself. You start questioning, your confidence drops.
Absolutely.
You think, well, maybe we're in the wrong business.
Right.
All
Time
these
to hang
things,
it up.
all this stuff
Yep.
comes in your head, and then you'll play another show, and that's kind of what now today's era is kind of putting bands through. Because back in the day, I mean, it was packed.
I know.
All the clubs, and third set was like packed. It was like your biggest, set.
Right.
Nowadays, it's now the third set is your lowest, your smallest set as far as audience. So it's weird, now sometimes there's like a lot of hit and misses,
Right.
And so when you miss and you start questioning things, question yourself, and then you'll have a great show, and then you're like on top of the world again,
Right.
and then reality will come right back.
Yep, back at work Monday.
Right.
But let's face it, I mean, this is just the reality of the situation. You said third set used to be the most crowded. That was back when we were in our 20s,
Right.
Well,
sure.
and we've all gotten significantly older.
But also laws have changed as well, DUI
yeah.
laws and,
Well, sure.
things like that.
Did we not have DUI laws back then?
Well,
or?
yeah, but they weren't as strict,
Really? I didn't know that.
Nowadays, but the funny thing, we didn't have Uber. We had like taxi cabs, but they
Right.
cost an arm and a leg, and they took forever.
Right.
And you had to like find the number in the yellow pages,
Right.
But anyway,
There's really.
I don't know who that was.
Oh, it's just my phone. Stuff's going to be going off all night. We're not.
Okay, so anyway, that's my feeling on that question.
That's cool. So, here in about 10 minutes, we're going to be talking about Muddflux and spin a tune from those guys, and then about 8 o'clock, Julie's going to call in. So we'll hit a few more questions here. I want to know, had you not gotten into music, what do you think you might have ended up doing, either as a second job or a very involved hobby?
Well, I love like detective shows, like
you're good at it,
First
too.
48 or whatever.
Yep.
That would be something really cool.
Right.
I bet, that I didn't think about that sort of thing, when I was younger. This, music has been a thing. I always listen to DJs, rock and roll stations.
Mm-hmm.
So, that would have been something that I could probably adjust to, doing something like this, but on a larger scale,
Right.
Or for a radio station or a cable network or something like that. Something like that. I don't know about being a chef or cook, but, a home decorator type
Mm-hmm.
thing, or maybe, an adult film star.
What? Whoa. Hey-o.
I mean, the opportunities are endless.
Yeah, I guess apparently they are. I don't know. But my ex-husband, my late ex-husband, was in radio. He worked the overnight shift on the Edge, and then he went over to Fox 23. I cannot tell you how little the people in that industry get paid.
Wow.
At least it was that way for him back then. But
Sort of like a cheerleader.
well, yeah, right. And right.
Like for the Tulsa Oilers, they probably get $10.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's how they would pay him. So, like, he'd make his little measly salary, and then he'd get a bunch of free shit, like, hey, Ken, here's a 24-pack of Surge. Remember that? Remember this?
Right.
Like he can pay a bill with that.
Yeah, because you gotta, what sucked about that sort of thing is you got to prep for that stuff. You have to. So there's a lot of home working from home. You got to prep. You got to, get all your plans, your songs in order. Whatever you're doing, you have to prep for this sort of thing.
Right.
So and then you go there and you're spending hours and time there during that time, but they don't pay you for any of that stuff. They just think it's like basically like a small club that can only pay you like $200-300. Like what?
Right.
What? I mean, dude, we have a 5-piece. We're a 5-piece band.
Right, and then you have to pay sound.
Right.
It's a nightmare, but it is what
it's like $200 for sound, and you're paying us how much? $300. I got 5 guys in my band. We're gonna walk out with like $10-15.
$200 for sound, $150 is what they're paying you. So
Nonsense.
Right, it's tough. But what I would probably do if I wasn't doing music is real estate.
Real estate.
Yeah, man. Oh, man, I love it. I got in, I started watching HGTV back in the day and still do, especially now that we're quarantined. My old love is back again. I'm watching all those shows, and, my buddy Josh Rainwater, he's a realtor and just kicking so much tail, and I'm like,
awesome.
I'm living vicariously through him.
You got It's almost like being a doctor because you have to be on call like
all
24
the
hours.
time.
Like the last thing you want is to be interrupted.
Right.
During whatever you're doing.
Then
in
that
bed.
is not the profession to go into if you don't want to be interrupted.
Susie wants to talk about her house. That
Right.
why is
at
this
3
not,
in the morning?
Right.
Right. It is.
Bailing.
What it is.
She's bailing out on me at 3 a.m.
Oh,
I got to
geez.
talk her off the ledge.
What a
talk her off the
stressful
ledge.
world. Yeah, but it is rewarding. It's cool because you getting to make people's dreams happen by getting a new home.
So, what are your thoughts on the internet? Since we're talking about local music and bands and how we get paid. So what are your thoughts on the internet and technology in general, as far as, how it has affected the music industry? What do you think?
This is going to sound like an old person talking.
Get off my lawn!
Yes, it's because I'm old. I honestly feel like the internet destroyed the music industry. I really do. Mm-hmm. Now, I definitely see the benefits of it. Obviously, we're utilizing the internet tonight for this little thing, but the problem is, this is my feeling, with YouTube and just how easy it is to make videos, and you see these little 8-year-old kids coming out and they're shredding way harder than you can, and it's just everywhere. And so the fact that people are just seeing all of this unbelievable talent over and over and over again, it's lost its special factor.
Yes.
So, you know, back in the day, when your heroes they'd be shredding, you're like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. Because it wasn't in front of your face every day like it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know,
it's kind of stretched thin.
well, yeah, I mean, you can't really impress people anymore because they see it every day.
Right.
People, there's so many talented
You have
people.
Steve-O, you know, on YouTube, like smashing light bulbs, you know, eating light bulbs, and then we're trying to impress people with a song we wrote.
Or a pyro fog machine. It's
Right.
like, unless you're bleeding up there, I'm not going to be impressed.
You know, but I always think about, you know, I agree with that. I think it's, you know, watered down, and it's, you know, everything's, you know, just too much. There's too much out there, too much information. But can you imagine if the 80s and the
hype,
peak, you know, the peak of a lot of music, especially the type of music we listen to, if internet was introduced then? Like, wow. Can you imagine the possibilities? Like, you know, because we were talking stadium tours, and then all of a sudden, you know, you got people that were like, you can see like the 80s rockers doing podcasts and streams and stuff on the internet, and you're being able to chat with them on Instagram and Twitter. It's like, wow, I just talked to Dave Lee Roth.
Right.
You know, he
That's
said
the
hi
good
to me.
part.
So like in the height of their careers.
Right.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be the good part of it, is that your heroes would have been more reachable, and you would have, you know, felt like.
But
hey,
maybe they wouldn't become, you know, they were heroes because they were so unreachable.
Exactly. It's the whole mystique thing. It's like, I wonder what they're like. Well, now we know what everybody's like. I mean, you know, you see Sammy Hagar waking up at 6 a.m, pouring his coffee with his hair all screwed up. It's like, hey, they're real just like me.
Right.
You
And
know?
it's like, boring.
It just, well, it's just, like I
HGTV.
said, it just, it just takes away the whole special factor of you know, the super groups that we grew up with.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
my feeling
Super
on it.
groups. That's the next question.
Is it?
It is.
Wow. Okay, let me find it on. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this one's for you. Do you foresee any new bands ever becoming super groups like we saw back in the day?
Well, that's a tough question because, you know, especially today's music, I don't know, like, the superstars of today.
Right.
You know, you had your Velvet Revolvers, which to me was my ultimate supergroup.
Right.
Velvet Revolver. So, I mean, today's music, I was like from some guy from the Muse is going to get hooked up with, you know, some other band I don't know. I mean, that's hard to tell. I mean, maybe there's a supergroup for someone else in the world, but I don't think there's ever going to be a supergroup for me. Does that make sense?
It does. I don't think there's going to be a supergroup, period. And it goes back to what we just talked about.
You're talking Audio Slaves and all, you know, those type of bands.
I mean, okay, again, maybe it's just my age, but you've got the digital world. Phones have turned everyone into zombies. They're
So you mean supergroup like
just-
album sales?
Yeah,
Okay,
like Guns N' Roses,
okay,
Aerosmith.
okay. So I had your question
gotcha.
totally flipped around.
No.
I thought you meant supergroup like you meant
Like who's collaborating with
right,
who?
the
No.
star from this band gets to with.
I'm talking popularity, like
Okay.
top of the world stuff.
So now we're talking so now I'm going to answer this completely different because
Okay.
I'm thinking Velvet Revolver.
Oh,
Audio
okay, I got you.
Okay, so no, I don't think there's ever going to be another Nirvana. I don't think there's ever going to be another Beatles. I don't think there's ever going to be another Kiss. I don't think there's ever a Led Zeppelin. Those type bands. Just I don't know.
And your reasoning behind that is?
Well, everything is saturated.
Yep.
You're right. Everything's
Oversaturated.
Oversaturated. Everything's watered down, and of course you have all the trackings and all that stuff, and you know, it's just. Back and then, people loved the blood, sweat, and tears of a band.
Exactly.
And now everything is fabricated.
Right.
And although the pop music world, you know, they still have their boy bands, and I don't even know if there's ever going to be another boy band again. I mean,
I don't know. I don't delve into that world too
but
much.
you know what I mean. There was
I do.
a period where there was huge, like Duran
Right.
Duran's, and you had all these pop boy
Right.
bands,
Right.
and even girl bands like Spice Girls,
Right.
But I mean, they have to come out of their old age and go on tour, and they're
Sure.
still just to keep it up and going. But who's out there that's doing anything that's worth
don't know.
that's worth doing that? And
And
maybe
I'm
we're
not
not searching around.
We're
enough.
not. I know I'm not. I'll speak for myself. And that's one of probably my biggest faults is I'm not seeking out new music. It for some reason it doesn't interest me, but that's probably just me being closed-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if I went and searched for it, I'd find some really cool groups. I'm sure they're out there, but to me, again, it just goes back to what we talked about, how it's a digital world. Everybody's a slave to their phone. You can't really impress people. They're so been there, done that.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
And that part of it's kind of a bummer, but
Right.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. It's good news. Great. The world is done. Yay.
It's kind of done. I mean, really. I mean,
I don't want to be.
the world is shut down right now.
Well,
so
just right now.
And here's another thing I don't like is what they say: nothing's going to be the same again. Nothing's bullshit. It's going to be probably crazier. You know what I mean? Humans are used. It's natural for us to be around each other. It's just natural.
I agree.
I think we'll continue, especially if
I'm going.
the next 3 weeks gets back to normal.
I hope so. I'm going so crazy not interacting
So, hey,
with people.
let's get into this Muddflux, okay?
Absolutely.
All right. So I don't know if you guys have heard of a band called Muddflux, and you can check them out at muddflux.com. You can check them out on Reverb Nation Spotify. You can get their new album on Spotify, and you can download it off of their website, and probably a lot of other online stores as well, like Google and what have you.
Before you play the song, I just want to. What I like about Muddflux, besides the fact that they're awesome, is that they're super nice people, and they work so hard.
And we're talking about a apocalyptic world. I mean, the way they're dressed, the way they look, you kind of have to be on their good side. You know what I mean?
Maybe I better get some wardrobe tips
You
from
got to
those
be on their
guys
good
right
side,
now.
because if shit hits the fan, you want
Right.
them on your side. I
Absolutely.
mean, they look like they're already prepped, ready for
They're going to
this.
go to war, but they're honest to God, just such nice people, and they work so hard. I mean, they tour and they play, and they're out there, and I love seeing bands that are nice and that work hard do well, and I'm
Absolutely.
proud of them. And we're going to spin this song. Like we said earlier, we're going to have better audio setup, but this is the best we can do. We think you're going to be able to hear it, but by all means, after the show, hop online and check out their whole album.
And give them some love in the comments, please.
Like their page,
Yeah.
just support Muddflux, and we hope you
So
enjoy the
Richard,
song.
Becky, Jason, Zach.
Absolutely.
This is Carousel by Muddflux.
We'll be right back. Thank you. awesome. Carousel by Muddflux.
Muddflux. Carousel.
They are kicking.
Right in your face. Right in your face.
Again, guys,
Check them out on Reverb Nation.
Make sure you support them. Oh.
Hey, is it fortune cookie time?
Oh, does this mean we get to have a snack?
Muddflux. Check them out. Give them some love. Download their song, their album. They're basically a national touring act at this point, and they got shut down themselves. So give them some love, man.
Definitely.
So
yes,
I think it's fortune cookie time.
Oh my gosh!
Here's your cookie.
Thank you so much.
And here's my cookie. So
tell me what we're supposed to do here.
So we're gonna hold on to these cookies, okay? And after we get done talking with Julie, we are going to do like a celebrity. We're going to read our fortunes, and like a celebrity or rock star voice.
So like fortune cookie impersonator, basically.
Absolutely.
I already know who I'm going to be.
Like fortune cookie metal fortune cookie, something like that.
Okay, I can't wait. I'm ready for a snack, but now we still got a few minutes before Julie calls in. I can't wait to talk to her. I've got some questions for her. She's such a cool girl. Julie and the Retrospex is her project, her band name, and she's got a really awesome history too. She's also a Tulsa legend, and we'll look forward to talking to her in just a minute.
I've known her for a long time.
You have?
Yeah.
How did you meet her?
Back in the Daisy Strange days.
Did you? Were you in Sybil's when you met her?
Yeah, and we played like the same clubs, the same bars and stuff. Like the Brink and just all over. So and she was their drummer, Donnie. I went to school with him. So,
oh, wow.
So we kind of got a little bit of history there.
So Donnie, we'll get more into the interview with her, and she can answer that. But Donnie played for Daisy Strange back then.
Shoot, I know it was. I know they were playing together in another band, but I forget. So I'll have
she will fill us in. We have a lot to learn
Moving
about
company.
Moving company. Okay.
Yes, moving company.
And again, as this thing continues, which we have every intention of making it continue and doing it on a we think we're going to do it on a weekly basis. We're going to get a lot of people involved. This is not just going to be Scott and me talking about our memories over and over. We're going to get other bands in here, other musicians, other artists. I was thinking we might even just get some music supporters in here just to kind of.
Oh, absolutely.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, we can get the guys from Dead Mouse Society in here. We can get the guys from Poster Child. We can imagine doing a show with Steve McCabe.
Oh my!
Holy crap.
We'll have to have multiple cameras for that one. We'll have a Steve cam. He can put it on his belt buckle.
He'll just tear this whole thing apart, man.
But anyway, we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff with a lot of different artists. Different people out there in the scene.
And it's really cool, too, because we have, like, this game room right down the hall. We're upstairs, so we have, like, a cool, it's like a green room, badass theater game room over here, and then we come over here, and then, this is my studio. So I'm, living the dream up here,
This is pretty cool. Finally utilizing this bedroom for something other than cat trees and cat puke and all that stuff.
This is cool. Anyway, so... I hope that did everyone leave some good comments for Muddflux. How did it sound out there? Do we have some pretty good sound on there?
Well, I saw a nice comment from Jason from Muddflux thanking us. And again, those guys are just super guys. Jason was helping me out not too long ago, giving me some good advice on different amp modelers and things like that.
Yeah.
That's I'm always so embarrassed to admit to my musical peers how technically stupid I am and inept. Anytime I buy a new piece of equipment, I've got to go to, Mark Mortensen or Ben or Jason or these other brilliant minds that know how to set this stuff. Because I just want to plug a cord in and go, and that's just how my brain works, unfortunately.
First time I saw Jason, he went by name Jake. And he was at the Cain's Ballroom opening up for LA Guns. I think I was 17, maybe 18 or something like that.
Right.
Many, many years ago. And that was the first time I saw Nine play and Jake and
good
they were
guy,
a band
man.
called Nasty Attractions.
Right on.
So
that's another guy. I want, as soon as the coronavirus leaves and we can open the world back up again, I want to get these people in because it's always more fun to talk to people in person. You can have that. But in the meantime, we're probably just going to have to roll with these phone interviews like we're going to do with Julie. Julie, go ahead and feel free to call in.
She's probably not even listening.
Julie's passed out on her couch. She had it with her dog.
Right.
But no, you call in whenever you want. But again, Tulsa Music Stream, make sure you guys are sharing this on your pages. Share this with people that you think might find this type discussion interesting and entertaining. Something to do.
Gotta make sure I turn my
your Bluetooth has to be on.
No, well, I need to make sure that my do not disturbs.
Oh, okay. She didn't try to call already, did she?
I don't know. I haven't turned those off.
Okay. I'll anyway, I'll feel well if you want to go try to I don't even have her number. I gave her your number, so hopefully
really?
she'll be yeah.
And of course this is gonna act weird.
Oh man. Well,
here we go.
We have a couple more questions here on the sheet that we'll just
let
kind
me
of
get this fixed up. You go ahead. And...
All right. I'll just blab. They don't care. I don't care if I blab. So, best thing about being in a band and worst thing about being in a band. Wow. Well, the best thing being in a band has to be just getting to meet all these amazing people.
Yes.
And having that human interaction. And Julie is calling in. We're going to get her hooked up.
Hello. How are you doing?
Hi. How are you guys?
Great. Wow, you sound great.
Man, you do. Can everybody in the comments let us know how the audio sounds with Julie? Can you guys hear Julie okay?
Hopefully they can hear me. I don't know. I'm pretty loud.
No,
I think the neighbors can hear me.
You're perfect. You're perfect, man. We just been winging this, like setting all this up. You know, we're just kind of like we're like, you know, back when we're like 12 years old and you had your little tape recorder and you're, you know.
Get your Casio out.
Right. So I'm getting good comments. Everyone is saying that Julie sounds great, and I agree. You do sound great. How are you, girl?
I'm doing great. I'm, bored like everybody else, but we're making it. And thanks for having me on. I love you guys.
We love you. I'm so glad you're on. You and Ernie and Scott and I have a common love, and that would be the St. Louis Cardinals. And are you guys as heartbroken as I am that we're having to wait on the start of the season?
Oh, listen, he's pacing every day, all day long, pouting. I want baseball.
I know.
As a matter of fact, right now he's watching whatever year it was. I don't know, some World Series that the Cardinals. I'm like, I don't know why you're watching that they lose. So.
Oh yeah.
What was your favorite game you have ever went to see the Cards?
Oh gosh, that's hard because it sucks every time I go they lose. So
wow.
I think I'm going to quit going.
You're a bad omen.
We did go to we went to Wrigley Field last year, and that was a lot of fun. I've been to Colorado Rockies. We've seen them several places. It's fun.
That's
awesome.
So cool.
Awesome.
So I've known.
We'll have to travel together.
That's right. That would be so much fun. So you've been in playing music in this town for a while now, and I've known you back in the '90s and stuff.
Yeah, too long.
What are some of your most favorable memories playing in Tulsa?
Well, when I was in Daisy Strains, we actually did our CD release party at the Canes. So that was pretty epic. I get to say that I played the Canes, and several of us can, but not a lot of us can. But that was a lot of fun. We traveled around, and back in the day, I know you guys were talking about this earlier, back in the day it was just so different because the clubs were epic, and there were so many places to play, and big clubs, dance clubs, big stages. I got to open up for Garbage.
Wow.
I got to, it's just, those are the days. It's not like that anymore, which kind of sucks, but it's still fun. I mean, I wouldn't keep doing it if it wasn't fun, right?
Right. And that's one thing I've always noticed about you. Every time we go see you play, no matter what the situation is, you always got a smile on your face, and you're always giving it your all. And that's one thing that I've always thought was remarkable about you.
I appreciate that.
You always give it 100%, and very professional a lot of times, Other times
A
when
lot
things,
of times, not
you know,
so much.
with you kind of can fill it, get some fill-ins, if people are sick or out of town or whatever, and you just, you wing it. And sometimes that's what you
Yep.
have to do in this business is wing it. And you're one of the
and
best
you
at doing
guys
it.
actually one night when we had our guitarist had a death in the family, and we had somebody come up. We had Robert Rillo come in, and he doesn't know all the songs. He knows them as a backup guitarist, but he doesn't know them as the lead. So you guys and Hosterman and Nine and, all our pals came in and saved the day. And that was one of my favorite nights. We had so much fun with you guys.
That was an awesome night. That's, Julie, when we come to see you guys, there's a reason we stay for all 3 sets. It's just that much fun. And the thing the thing I love about you, I kind of feel like we're kindred spirits, is I feel like we both appreciate a good sense of humor. And
100%.
And I love
if
that.
If you can't laugh, then what's the point?
No, absolutely. So why don't you tell us a little bit, let's do what we did with Scott with you. Let's go back and just kind of tell us how you got started in music.
Oh my gosh. Well, I started in music in theater. I was a theater geek as a kid, and I actually was in marching band. I played the flute. No jokes.
Right.
I did go to band camp. We'll talk about that later. But I've always been in music. My mom has a recording of me when I was 3 years old singing in the bathtub. So
wow.
It started early. But I moved to Denver in the early 90s, and I actually sang in a blues band in Denver in my early 20s as a backup singer, and that's how the live band started for me. It was scary. I'd never been in that situation. And I never really thought I would be a lead singer ever.
Right. What was the Colorado music scene like back then?
It was a complete 180 from Tulsa.
Really?
You had to have 3 sets of originals, and if you did a cover song, it had to be your own and kind of slip it in. Nobody wanted to hear cover tunes in Denver.
Wow.
So when I came here and it was 100% cover tunes, it was a huge awakening for me because I was like, what do you mean I have to learn all these songs other people wrote?
Shell shock.
It was different. It was weird, but it was great. But talk about competition.
Right. So you said, I'm sorry, you were in Denver for how long?
I lived there about 5 or 6 years, and then I moved back to Tulsa in 97.
Okay.
And I joined Daisy Strange in January of 98.
Daisy Strange is a band that I recognize the most.
Yeah.
I know Moving Company. I've seen you with Moving Company.
Yeah, no, Daisy Strange was the first, and that was my first experience as a lead singer, and it was terrifying. I'll just say that. It was terrifying.
No, why you say that? What went down?
Well, zero experience, first of all. I came from a blues band, so I was not hip on any current music. Like they wanted me to sing No Doubt, and I'm like, who's that? I had been listening to Etta James and all that, so I was totally out of the loop.
Wow.
So it was a lot, and I had to learn originals. As a matter of fact, my audition, I had to learn the entire Daisy Strange CD that somebody else wrote in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And my audition was on stage at the Eclipse. And they told me if I pulled it off, I could have the job. And I sang with them for 5 years.
That's incredible. I asked Scott this last week. I want to get your take on it. And you kind of already touched on it, but the Tulsa music scene from your vantage point back in that era, I think you said you were with them from 98 to 03 was your time?
About that, yeah.
So in your experience, did you find the scene to be super competitive and real cutthroat, or did you find that it was like a community of bands where, this band would go out and if they had a night off, they'd go out and watch this band play and be supportive and be cool? Or was it kind of a little more cutthroat than that back then?
You know, I never really saw it as cutthroat. I mean, there was a whole bunch of bands, but there was also a whole bunch of venues. So I feel like we all had a place to play and we all had a place to be, but we did support each other. I remember going to see Scott play and Sybil's Machine, and, you know, I remember going to see Fanzine. I mean, Don Jameson, actually, Scott, that's what I was going to tell you. Donnie was the drummer for Fanzine back then.
Yes, and I went to school with Don.
I just feel like, even though it was competitive, we were all still friends. I mean, we're musicians. We're a small group, and we all love each other.
That's awesome. That's how it's supposed to be, you know?
Agreed.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I remember very many nights with Fanzine after shows. Either our band or their band or both, we'd all, like, sometimes would end up in the same place at, 3, 4 in the morning.
Yep. Oh my God. Yeah. Those were the days. And, if you ask me too many questions about the 90s, I'm pretty sure I'm going to just say I don't remember.
I plead the fifth. The fifth. 5-5.
So
I'm like, sure, I'm sure I was there, but, don't ask me what I was wearing. I couldn't tell you.
So when you decided to get out in 2003, like, what made you decide, okay, it's time for me to step out?
Well, that in itself is a very long story, but I will just say the band had creative differences.
Okay. It happens.
It was, it got to be very treacherous at the end, and at that point in my life, I stepped out and I decided that I didn't want to be in a band ever again. It got so bad that I just couldn't. And so I took about 6 years off. And I didn't go to a bar. I didn't go see a band. I didn't want to. I just was like, I'm done. And I stayed home and I raised my kid, and that was it for me. I was like, that's it.
Well, there's no shame in that, Julie.
No.
No, not at all. And, to be honest, I had to sober up.
Yep.
The 90s were rough, man.
Yeah.
Right. You got out about when Scott got out, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I kind of had to do my my growing up phase as well, and become a father. And,
well, we all have to do it. You all have to. There comes a time at some point in your life when you have to step back and just say, okay, this is too much.
Right.
But you know what? The day that actually Don Jameson called me to join Moving Company, I was so skeptical and I was so apprehensive. He had to really talk me into it. And Moving Company was actually the remnants of Snapdragon.
Oh, wow.
Those guys came on and they took me in, and, we decided to give it a go, and it was a blast because it was actually people that wanted to have fun playing music, and it wasn't a tyrannical type situation. So it was very liberating for me to be in that band.
So you played with a lot of people that we know and that we're familiar with, even today, and back then we did too, like Robert Rillo and Don
I went
Jameson.
to high school with him, actually. We were in marching band together. That's how we know each other.
That's so cool. And then I see that you played with Justin Barber.
Yes, he was our drummer in the Moving Company. I want to say that was probably his first gig, and this will tell you how old I am. I actually went to high school with Justin's dad. So
wow. Oh man, Julie, we're getting so old.
They're two really good drummers.
Tell me about it.
Between Justin Barber, I'll put you on the spot here. So you had Don Jameson, and his talents. He's had some really cool things that he would do that he could probably bring to the table, and then a really good drummer like Justin Barber. So if you had to pick out of the two, if you had two drummers right now available to go and do a gig right now, which one would you pick between Justin and Don?
Oh man, that's not nice.
Okay. No, wait, I can answer this fair. I can. It depends on what we're playing, because and this is no diss on Justin whatsoever, because he is an incredible little drummer.
Yes, he is.
Amazing.
Yep.
But our song choices didn't fit with him. When he came into the Addiction, I was so happy for him because that was perfect for him.
Yeah.
When he was with us and he was playing double bass in Adele, I'm like, Justin.
See, that's
Hi,
right
buddy.
up my alley.
You can't play the double bass during Rolling in the Deep. And he would just laugh and keep going. And, but he is the sweetest, kindest person on the planet. I always tell his parents they did such a good job with him because I wish he was my kid.
Yeah, he is a super guy and a
Fair answer.
super drummer. Very good guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I played that kind of music and if I could sing the Foo Fighters, I would have him in a second. Unfortunately, I can't really sing Dave Grohl. I love him, but I can't sing him.
Don't we all?
So if the world gets back to normal here in a few weeks.
When the world gets back to normal.
When? In the next 3 weeks. Let's say in the next 3 weeks to 4. What's your next move musically in Tulsa?
What? Repeat that? I didn't hear it. Go ahead.
So when the world gets back to normal in the few weeks coming, what's your next move musically? Are you still with the Retrospex?
Oh yeah, the Retrospex are still going. We're actually booked through the year.
Okay.
And I actually started the side project of Julie and Mark. So Carson and I are doing acoustic shows, and I have another guy that you guys might know, Mark DeVille.
Yes.
Yeah, I flip back and forth between the two Marks because sometimes one can and the other one can't. So Carson and I do a lot of his Retrospex stuff, but we also do a little more 90s. And then DeVille is a little more country, so it's a little more laid back. So we kind of thought this would be a cool idea because you never know what show you're going to get. It'll be different every time.
Right on.
That's so amazing how, you guys are some of y'all are so diverse, and I envy that because I'm not diverse. I do hard rock and metal.
But you can be.
Well, maybe I just need to spend some time with you as soon as we can start hanging out together again, right?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Gosh, we've been trying to do this for a while, Jana. We were supposed to go to dinner not long ago, and they shut everything down.
I know. It's going to happen, though.
See, if it wasn't for those dinner plans, we probably would be like all good, right?
Are you saying
But
Julie
I do
and
have one comment, though. Earlier in the show, you said something about the same symptoms that you get from your favorite Mexican restaurant, and isn't that where we were going to go?
You weren't supposed to be tuning in at that point, Julie.
Yes, I am. I have to watch your show.
No, that
That's
place.
okay, I'll bring the Tums.
Seriously, that place is awesome. I mean, I have to pick the right dinner plan when I go out there.
Are you sensitive?
Yeah, maybe I need to go with a salad every now and then, huh?
Well, thank you so much for
salad.
calling in. It was a pleasure talking with you. And
I love you guys so much. I can't wait to see you again. And I just want to say, I truly hope that when all of this blows over, everybody starts coming out again, and everybody supports the bars, the music.
Amen.
Make it a reason to go out again.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And those who are listening and commenting, please leave some love for Julie. And you see Julie in the Retrospex out playing the Cimarron or any of these other Tulsa clubs. Make sure you go out and support her. She's a blast. She's fun.
Yep.
And she's
talented and beautiful, and she's just awesome.
She gives the greatest hugs, too.
I love you guys. And props to you guys, too. I mean, Jana, I'm so jealous of your guitar skills. I wish I had them.
Oh,
so do I.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Well, hey, bass is something.
That's the bass players always get the chicks, right?
That's right.
All right.
I love you guys. You guys take care.
Love you too. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, that was cool.
That was fun. We're getting a lot of good feedback.
Wow, that was awesome. That was our first. You know what?
Interview.
Okay, so let's just talk about this. That was our first interview.
Yeah.
Besides me. From you, but
right.
that, you can't really count that. Yeah, so that was our first on, our phone
on
guest,
air interview.
On air.
Yep.
So and it's we pulled it off.
We did,
and we actually had our first featured artist, Muddflux.
Absolutely.
So there's only one number one ever, and the rest.
The rest are number 2
and
3 and 4.
Right. So
I can count.
It's kind of cool that we pulled that off.
I know.
And that was my biggest fear out of all of this was to make sure that the song didn't get screwed up,
right,
and the phone conversation interview didn't get screwed up.
Right.
So the rest is smooth sailing for me.
Right. So we'll probably be on the air for another 20 minutes or so. We're not really I don't know. We're going to go as long as we want, right?
Hey, we still have a few more questions.
Oh, yeah, we do. No, we've actually got a second page.
I think it's time, if you
Oh, boy.
want to get
Is
into
it snack time?
Cookie starts with C. Let's think of other things that starts with C. Who cares about other things? C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
Fun.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. Oh, cookie, cookie, cookie starts with C. Oh.
All right.
Man, I love snacks.
It's definitely that time, and here we go.
But there's a twist to
Fortune
this.
cookie time.
This is Fortune Cookie Impersonator, right?
That's right.
So we're not just reading fortunes. We're reading fortunes in some of our favorite celebrity voices, right?
Right.
So who wants to go first?
I'm going to let you go first.
You're going to let me go first.
You need to break it
Okay.
open or smash it on the table.
I don't want to mess up the mic, so there will be no smashing, but we are going to. And as far as my impersonation for tonight, I'm on a big Ozark kick right now. So
Ozark.
So my fortune is going to be read in the voice of Ruth from Ozark.
Oh, okay.
Now, because some people are going to be screwing off on their jobs this week, I'm going to make this a little bit suitable for work. So I can't go total Ruth on this.
Oh, my
But I'm going
goodness.
to go a little bit Ruth on this, all right?
Mom, close your ears.
No, it's nothing like that. A great pleasure in life is doing what others say you can't, Wyatt.
So is there, like, numbers and stuff on the back?
Hell yeah, there's numbers on the back.
What do you got on the back?
How about another fortune? Lucky numbers 41, 35, 15, 16, 29, and 9.
It's like a casino.
Is that a good Ruth?
That was great. That was
Well,
awesome.
I love Ruth. You know, in a perfect world, Ruth is my sister, and she has my back, and she beats everyone up for me.
Okay.
I love Ruth. What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Oh, you always have to make a mess. Why?
Boom.
Who are you doing?
I think I'm going to do.
Hold your mic back so you don't distort it.
I think I'm going to do
Norwegian death metal?
Black metal or something.
Holy crap.
You will fall to a place you wouldn't go by yourself.
I have no idea what you said.
Okay. Okay,
That-
so basically a leader. Oh,
Ooh,
ding
someone's at the
bell,
door.
someone's is that Julie?
Julie's back. She's not done talking.
Okay, so mine basically said a leader is a person you will follow to a place you wouldn't go by yourself.
That's pretty good. Do we get to eat these, or are they just props? Actually, I'm not going to eat because it'll crunch in the mic, and that's pretty
And
annoying.
then on my back is going to go Axl Rose.
Oh,
right?
ooh, fun. Okay.
Hold on, another fortune. Secondfortune.com. Lucky numbers. 35, 22, 48, 34, 42, 46, Tulsa.
There we go.
That was splendid.
All right.
I can't wait to do that GNR song we're learning if we ever get to play again.
Oh, that was fun.
Remember back in the day when we got to play live shows?
Oh, absolutely.
That was fun stuff. All right.
How's everybody doing out there? Say hello. Hello, everyone.
They're hanging in with us. We got a look. Michael Chabola left us an upside down cat.
Uh-oh.
That must have been when you were doing Norwegian death metal.
Right,
voice.
right.
So, anywho, John Gates says great death metal, Scott, Norwegian style. Yeah,
I didn't do it so good because I don't know.
The problem is I didn't know what you were saying. That's probably because it was in Norwegian, right? So, anyway, there's a couple more things on the front page, and then we're going to get to some viewer questions,
Okay.
and
Let's do it.
and we'll just see where this thing takes us. So,
I'm gonna open up my.
did you answer the question, best thing about being in a band and worst thing about being in a band?
No.
Okay, tell me, what's the best thing and what's the worst thing about being in a band?
Well, it depends on my age and your marital status, right?
Sure. So you're a 40 male, married.
So yeah, so there's like
Oh boy,
Kind
where's
of like
this
you have
going?
branches for that sort of thing. So if you're young and single, some of the cool stuff is meeting women and girls and stuff, and
Right.
getting to socialize and party and hang out with other musicians.
It's a good thing you clarified that statement.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, but now, today's is
Getting in the car and riding home with my wife after the show is the best thing ever.
right. Now it's and it's not even free beer because back then it was free. You got free beer too.
Right. It's discounted beer.
Right. So I guess now today, in the age group that we are now, some of the best things is just meeting people and just seeing their smiles on their face and them getting into the music. So that's again we go back to that one question. And then what was the next thing? The worst thing about being in a band. Oh, and that's almost a two-story or a separated ordeal. Because if you're an original band, the worst thing is having to play with 3 other bands, and you get the middle slot, and you have to hurry up and get
Stressful.
all your gear up there. It's very stressful,
Yep.
and the pay sucks and all that. So that's the worst part about all that. And then on the cover side of things, the worst. Loading up all the shit and loadout.
That's what Julie said on
today
here.
is loadout is the worst thing ever. I don't care if I've had 20 beers or no beers. It's the worst thing ever.
We kind of have grown to like our load in. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, because we get to chit chat. We don't get to see each other.
I
It's
know.
not as stressful. But
Everybody's
then
rested up at that point.
you don't have a bartender screaming at people to get the hell out. If you're not effing the band, then you have to
right.
go home.
Boy, I've never heard that before. Have
Right.
you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things and a lot of tough things. For me, being a non-smoker with major allergy problems, I got to say smoke kind of gets to me. But
What was your favorite celebrity musician you ever met, and why?
this is so easy. Mark Slaughter.
Right on.
That guy was so cool. I think I said earlier, you're a fanboy. You go up to people. You're like, hey, man, can I meet you? Not like that, but you know what I mean. You walk up to these guys and want to meet them. I don't do that. I stay in the back because I just don't want to bother them. That's just me. Well, that guy, Mark Slaughter, when we opened up for Slaughter at the IDL, he walked up to me like I was somebody and started asking me about my gear. And we just started talking about stuff. And, I kind of decided I'd press my luck because the conversation was going so well. So we actually got into kind of a deeper conversation about the car wreck or the accident that killed his guitar player, Tim Kelly, because Tim was one of my favorite players growing up. He had this kind of weird, it wasn't technically great style, but he just had this kind of wild thing about his style that I loved. It was kind of like unbridled, just shredding. And I loved him. So I was really sad when he died. So we talked a little bit about that, but he was just the coolest, most down-to-earth guy. You would have thought he was just one of us, and that'll stick with me forever. I love Mark Slaughter.
Right on.
What about you?
Shoot. I've met a few, and got along with, the Scotty Hill from Skid Row. I thought he was just fun to talk to, and he was just wild and crazy. Frankie had a long, good talk with Frankie Benally backstage at Rocklahoma. I thought, and that was cool. I also, one of my favorites was, I just remember, I just forgot. I just had it in my head. Oh my god.
80s band?
Yes.
Was it a boy or a girl?
No,
male
it was a
or
guy.
female?
I've met Vince Neil, and everyone always used to say that Vince Neil, what a dick, and they make fun of him. He was one of the nicest, cool cats I've ever talked to.
Really?
I mean, yeah, he was real nice, and he just got off his bus, and he wasn't stressful, and he seemed really calm and nice, and all that. So
Don't you figure a lot of it is like when you catch these people? Because think
Sure.
about it, man. I mean, let's face it, even for the pampered celebrities, life on the road is hard.
Mm-hmm.
You're moving from this town to that town. You're probably going on very little sleep.
Right.
And so a lot of it's when you catch them. But yeah, that's neat to hear that he was decent to you. That's cool.
Yeah, that was really cool and then Eric Carr, I saw him at Drum World.
Oh,
or
wow.
something like that.
Yeah.
And now that he's rest in peace, Eric Carr. But that was the only Kiss guy I met, and Vince was the only Motley Crue guy other than John Corabi that I got to meet.
I do have to interject. This just now popped into my head. I don't know how my father pulled this off, but somehow 1991, Against the Law Striper Tour, we got Oz Fox to come over to our house and eat dinner.
That's so cool.
It was unreal.
What'd you eat?
Lasagna. And I kept his napkin for a long time, and I don't know where it ended up. But Oz was super cool, hung out with us, and then the guy I was running around with at the time, we took him back to his motel. And it was a motel. It was not a hotel. It was like, Motel 6. And before we left, he had us come in, and I got to play his how's your mic doing?
I'm good. Go ahead.
I got to play his yellow and black guitar that had the bullets on it. I think that was probably from the Soldiers era. I just got to play on that for a little bit. He was super cool, too. Then, Mom and I went and saw Striper at the Canes several years later. He didn't remember me from Adam. I didn't expect him to. They meet thousands of people. But, yeah,
right.
We've had some good experiences with some of those people.
So is that the last question there?
Yeah, we're going to move to viewer questions. And like I told you guys earlier, it's really hard to keep up with the comments on the stream. But now that we can kind of pay more attention to the stream, because
and I'm going to let you take over on this, and I'm
going to take a potty break
since you went during the song break.
Potty break.
Yeah.
Okay, potty break for Scott. So we're going to open it up. We had some viewer questions sent in, but we'll also open up comments on the chat, and we'll try to catch those. And we'll just keep this going as long as you guys are having fun. I know we're having a good time like we did last week. This first question's from Chris Powell. Is there plans to make another new Down for Five album after the current one is finished? Chris, we aren't really doing an album, at least not at this point. What we did is we went in and we recorded 3 singles, and we've been releasing one single every couple of weeks. And then, of course, coronavirus happened and the world stopped, and we've put this 3rd new release on hold, but we are going to release it this Tuesday. On the Down for Five page and on our personal pages. So that song is called Numbers. So once that song comes out, that'll be the last release that we have recorded at this point. So 3 new releases. I would certainly like to do more new songs. I think that's kind of the intention, is to write and record some more. Keep working with Mark Mortensen, who's just brilliant. And I'll use this opportunity to plug Mark again. Any bands out there that need demos recorded or want to do a full album, Mark is a hidden gem in this town as far as his recording ability. Some of the stuff he's done, including our stuff, it just sounds amazing. So make sure you check Mark out. But, yeah, we hope to do more singles, and we'll probably be releasing them as singles. There's so much money that goes into making a CD, or I don't even know if people do CDs anymore, maybe not, but like a full-blown album, it just takes a lot of money. So the formula that's kind of working for us right now is just releasing singles sporadically. So I think at this point we'll probably stick with that. So why don't you take the next question on the sheet from Lori Brass?
Okay, so Lori Brass. How has this corona crap affected you guys as a band, like financially and such? Are you at least able to practice, and if so, are you doing it together or distantly? No, we are not practicing. We haven't gotten together just because we just want to do the right thing. We thought about practicing, and then, people go to work. We're still working, so it hasn't affected us financially, other than we're still having to work, so that helps. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It has affected us financially because we've lost some casino shows and
a club show,
some club shows, and who knows how many more after that. But we're just kind of taking it day by day, But luckily we're going to our job still, and that's helping us keep our head above water, which I'm thankful for. But there was a time and a period where we really relied on our band money.
Big time. Yeah, we used to play.
I don't know what changed, maybe raises at our jobs, but
Yeah, I don't know, or just budget adjustments, which you have to do from time to time. But
I don't know anything about that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Well, definitely. This thing is hitting everybody in one form or fashion, some way.
We are basically what we're doing as far as Down for Five. Distantly, we are making like videos and stuff like that for our song that we're going to be able to release in next Tuesday, actually April 7th.
Yep.
Numbers. At 11 a.m. we're going to release. Down for Five is releasing a new song called Numbers.
Yep. It's cool. It's it's thrashy. We like it.
Yeah, we have actually a couple lyric videos, but we'll release one and then we'll throw out another one just for fun.
Right.
But anyway.
Syke and Jeff have both done some really cool videos for that song, so you'll see those soon.
So Ray asks, what is your favorite IDL show?
Yep.
Favorite IDL show. And then you got the shirt going on right there.
Concerts. Michael Chabola, our buddy that we affectionately call Ray. Well, Ray, I just keep coming back to this, but that Dawkins show where I got to get up and play with them, I mean, you don't get to do stuff like that. It's just unheard of. And our band, Scott and me, owe Doug Burgess such gratitude and such thanks for enabling us to do some stuff that we never would have gotten to do. Like, I got to get up and play with Dawkins at the IDL, and that was incredible. And then the other thing I got to do last year was play the national anthem at Rocklahoma on the main stage, and Doug made both of those things happen.
Was that scary?
Man, it was. Actually, I'll tell you what, both things. But before I got on stage with Dawkins, my legs turned to noodles. I didn't even think I was going to be able to stand up there, but something just took over and pushed me on up there, and I got through it. But yeah, the Rocklahoma was pretty scary too. I remember looking down. Doug was right down there. He's like, "Relax."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's fine.
So that was amazing. But yeah, for me, it was definitely that first Dawkins show. What about you? Favorite IDL show?
Favorite IDL show. Kicks was fun. Got to meet those guys backstage eating pizza. Let's see. What's the name? Saxon. I thought Saxon was awesome.
It was.
Hanging out with them. But, man, I loved hanging out with meeting the Iron Maidens and Vixens.
They were awesome.
And so that was a really fun show. I had all of them. It's hard to pick. It's almost like your children,
Right.
But I don't know. I'd say a couple of those that I just mentioned.
Yeah, those were fun. And then Bill Hamilton, he came in with a question today. He said, how many times during the week do we practice as a group? That assuming that the world is normal and things are going. Bill, we don't practice. We do the
sound check.
Well, like rocket science, we practice when we learn new songs. We'll get together once, maybe twice. And matter of fact, before all this stuff broke down and broke out and got crazy, we were learning we had 5 or 6 new songs that we were working on for rocket science. And I'm talking like some hard stuff.
Yeah.
Like I actually took a day off work just to spend the entire day learning this material and practicing. And I was so excited about it. And we haven't even gotten to get together as a band to practice those yet. Mm-hmm. So to answer your question, we get together for a couple rehearsals for new songs. Other than that, and that I'm talking about the cover band. Like Down for Five will rehearse whenever we're getting ready for a show or like to write new material. But that's kind of lately. Obviously, everything's on hold pretty much.
Yep. All right, so you want to try to do some phone interviews with the viewers?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
See if this works.
We were hoping to have a phone number set up for tonight that you guys could call into, but that did not pan out. So the way we're going to try to do this, and you have your Bluetooth turned on, is call into Scott's Messenger on Facebook. Yeah. And if you can ring his messenger, then we should be able to put you on the air and let you ask a question. And then we'll be happy to answer that.
Let's see how this goes. So just send me a messenger phone call, and we'll put you on air, and we'll just have ask us a question, and then we'll move on to the next one.
So while we're waiting for that to happen, I do see that we're starting to get a couple of comments in the chat here. John Gates said, "Do a lot of people from your day jobs come to your gigs at night?" That's a really great question. Every now and then, right?
Say the question again. Sorry.
Do a lot of people from your day jobs come to your gigs at night?
I've had a few.
Yeah.
I kind of have a high turnover job. So you know what I mean. So
Right.
like some people used to come out, and then once they moved on to something else, then I haven't seen them since. Recently had someone from my work, a couple of people at one of our shows.
Right.
I don't know. What about you? Not so much.
Remember that time we played at Hard Rock? That one time we played at Hard Rock?
Right.
I had some coworkers come out that night, and of course, they see me in my dorky, work clothes and glasses every day, and then this other completely different person comes out and starts jamming on some Def Leppard, and it always kind of surprises people that are in my day job line of work. But we all have our things we do on the weekends that are different and
Right.
allow our other personalities to come out. Don't be shy, you guys. Try to call into Scott's Messenger.
Yeah.
We'd really like to
If anyone wants to call, hit me up on Messenger.
like
and
to
we'll,
put you guys on the air so we can let you chat.
If not, that saves me some trouble. But I do want to take this time to thank Jeff Williams for helping us out on the air or through phone call and Messenger, and Cody Bailey. Had a little conversation with him the other night, kind of helped me set some things up, and then of course Mark Mortensen helping with some conversations.
Right.
Order some things online, and we haven't gotten that stuff in yet, but once we do, we'll have a little better production. So we're working on all that stuff.
And I see that Travis Arnold says it sounds like we're in mono.
Yes, we are.
We are. And again, like we said before, this is a very pieced together operation at this point.
Yeah, we'll be in stereo once we get the focus right, and we get all of our. We can't even go out and buy new cords and patches and cables and stuff for this stuff. So we kind of winged it all together, and so this is what we got right now. And then once we get the right stuff in place, then we'll hook everything out and go in stereo. And we're in a learning curve right now. This is basically our first full show,
right?
And then we'll get start getting some software and stuff like that, and making it a little more fun. And we're just on a learning curve. And once we learn a little more about how to do things and this and that, then we'll start building. But not a bad start though. Not a bad start.
No, I think it's been good, and the interaction with Julie was awesome. Interaction with people online is great. Yeah, we'll be up in the game of this. It'll become a more professional operation as we learn and get better equipment involved and all that good stuff. But I guess if they're not gonna
so here's some trivia we can ask from the people in the comments.
I already answered that one.
Who is Jana's favorite? Oh, you already answered that one.
Well, I pretty much blew that with the.
Well, how do they
cookie.
know? It could be someone else.
Oh.
So who is Jana's favorite character on Ozark? Right. Let's see if they.
That's correct. Oh, Stephanie Sparks says it's great to see your faces. I'm glad you can see our faces because I don't think you could see them last week, but maybe that was a good thing. I don't know. We're waiting for the trivia answer.
Hey, look. Here
we
go.
We have a call. Just a moment. It looks like Donk is calling.
Hey, how you doing, Donk?
Uh-oh. Daniel, are you there?
Are you there?
Uh-oh. We got prank called by Daniel. Daniel, can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys via the computer, not my phone.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Well,
yeah, we hear you.
Hey, you know what? Do you have a way to turn the audio down?
No, I'm here.
If you have a way to turn down your audio so we don't have the feedback issue.
Yeah, turn your volume down on your computer, or there's going to be a delay when we talk. Technically.
So how's things going?
Sorry, I'm not good at this stuff.
It's okay, buddy. We're all learning.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you great.
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Question for you guys. What's the music that you guys listen to that us heavy metal guys wouldn't realize you guys listen to?
Wow, that's an awesome question. Lady Gaga for sure would be mine. I think she's amazing. Of course, I was like everyone else that got wrapped up in the whole Star Is Born soundtrack. I just think she's amazing. And another way I could answer that, Daniel, you'd actually be surprised at how little music I listen to. I have no explanation for why that is. I find myself, I get sucked into a lot of talk radio, and I've been that way for a long time. I need to fall back in love with listening to music again. I don't know why I'm doing that, but when I do listen to music that's not metal, it's probably her.
And mine would be, I like the Beatles, and Amy Winehouse, and Lady Gaga myself. But I also like stuff like the Beach Boys and some different things like that. And a lot of R&B. I like a lot of R&B, like Marvin Gaye and Smokey Robinson. So that's my answer. How are you doing?
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys for doing what you do. Music is therapy to a lot of people like me, and you guys keep doing what you do, and you guys got a fan.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniel.
We appreciate it.
Man, we love you, bro. Thank you very much, and thank you for the good stuff that you're out there doing right now. That's our friend Daniel Hughes, Daniel Donk Hughes.
Thank you.
Facebook.
Thank you for the phone call.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate. He's involved in helping out with some really cool stuff right now that's going on with getting food to people. I need to get a better understanding of exactly how their operation's working, but
He gave us some free KISS tickets too.
he did. Daniel Donk Hughes is an awesome dude, and we appreciate you calling in. Now, you guys feel free to call in if somebody else wants to call in.
Somebody call in. Hit me up on Messenger.
We do have a question on here. D. Compton, what CDs are in your vehicle when traveling?
At the moment for me, well, in my vehicle, because I usually listen to my phone. Mm-hmm. I plug my phone, I listen to Spotify, or I listen to Hair Nation, Sirius Radio. But as far as CDs, what's in my CD player right now is Doxy's new album.
Right on.
I have Doxy's new album, and I have First Strike's last album in my car. And I have some other band that I ordered. They were some old 80s Sunset Boulevard band, and now I forgot the name of their Doll. Right. So yeah, I had to order that online. You know, there's like nowhere else to be found. It's kind of like a rare item, but
right. So let's see here. I don't know if we have any more comments. You guys can call into Scott's Messenger if you'd like to ask a question. Let's see. Okay. How about this? What's the best music documentary you've seen?
The best?
Yeah, best or one of your favorites.
Man, what was
There's
one of the last ones we've seen?
Saw.
Huh? Oh, Saw. Whatever.
People.
We're not. In
I
grammar school.
I mean that's a joke for a post that
Gotcha.
that was going on Jeff's page earlier.
About mine?
No, it's not just about. It's the it's just people.
Okay.
All good.
So
what did we see? What's the last one we?
Hired Gun was cool.
Yep. Well, you know that one about the Iron Maidens guy,
right?
Their roadie. Man,
right.
That guy works so hard.
Yeah, I forget the name of that one.
I know. I love the Quiet Riot documentary with Frankie.
And the Twisted Sister one was cool.
Those are so great.
So,
those
yeah,
are very
I loved
cool.
all that stuff.
So we'll hang out here and see if you guys have any more questions. Oh, here we go.
Here, hold on. We got someone.
Got a call. Hal Manchester's calling in. Give us just.
How
a
you
second.
doing? Hold on,
buddy.
1 second.
Hold on, Hal.
Uh-oh.
We gotta figure out the audio here. Get your Bluetooth going. Uh-oh.
He call. I don't know what happened there.
Hal, we may need you to try to call back again. We lost our Bluetooth connection.
Sorry, call me back.
And Hal, when you call back, turn the audio down on your phone so you don't hear the delay.
Weird.
I don't know why that hung up on him.
Oh wait, he's still here.
Are you there, Hal?
Right.
So what you'll need to do is turn the show down.
I can't get him on the Bluetooth.
We
for
don't.
some reason.
Yeah, for some reason we lost you on our connection. But I'll tell you what. If we don't get it figured out, we can still just. You can give us your question and we'll tell people what you're asking.
Hang me up. Just call me back.
Call back one more time and we'll try to figure that out.
I'll just call him.
Oh, he's going to call you. So while you're doing that, let's answer.
Here we go.
Okay.
Now we're cooking.
Try. There he is. There's
I'm gonna call him. How about that?
Hello, Scott.
Hey, how you doing? Now we got you.
I have no idea what's going on.
That's fine, man. We're just talking, man.
I think I'm pushing too many buttons here.
We're okay. We're okay.
Can you hear
me?
us?
Yeah, I hear you now, and I hope I'm not too loud. I turned my volume down, but that's just the volume I'm hearing. I don't think I can turn down the microphone volume.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So what's your question?
Well, I just wanted to ask you guys. First of all, I'm glad to see you're indoors and safe. My question is how do you feel? What's the difference between the casino shows and the show like at our favorite place to simmer on?
Okay, so for me, the difference is, of course, the casinos are bigger, and most of the time they're bigger, and they pay a whole hell lot more. They can be fun, and they can be some depressing as well. But the ones like Cimarron, some of my favorite smaller clubs, I like them because it's more intimate, it's more closer. You can get off stage, and then you're immediately in contact with people, where a lot of these casinos, as soon as you're done off stage, you have to sometimes you have to stay backstage, or they got these rules and they got all this shit you have to follow, and it's so on rock and roll. And I have a habit of socializing and doing my thing, and so there's the rules things with the casinos is what sucks, and where like Cimarron and these other places, they're it's a free for all, and it's a bigger part. It's just a party, more of a party. That's the difference.
Yeah, I definitely see the party part of it.
Yeah, the casinos are, like he said, they're wonderfully lucrative. It's a fantastic payday because their budget is a lot higher, but there's a trade-off for that. You don't, especially the ones we play. We play on stages that are above the bar and very separated from the crowd, so you can barely even make out people's faces down there. But it's still fun. It's always fun to play, but it's like Scott said, when you get to play the intimate club shows where you can hold your mic out to the person that's 3 feet in front of you and they can sing with you, you can't really put a price on that kind of fun. I mean, that's just a good time. So
right.
It's apples.
Visually, it seems like the casinos, you're up on the big stage, on the big time.
Yeah, I mean it feels great to be on a big stage like that. Definitely it feels great, but you are missing that element of just being able to reach out and high five someone and hear them singing along with you. It's apples and oranges, but both venues serve their purpose.
Yes, I agree.
So.
Thanks for the call.
I know Carrie and I always enjoyed dancing with you at the bars.
Well, we enjoy having you guys there, and thank you, Hal, for all you do. And I know you've been a very instrumental figure in the scene yourself, and we appreciate your support and all you do.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, I'm enjoying the lockdown time.
Right on, brother.
Well, thank you for your phone call.
Stay safe.
Catch you guys later.
All right, buddy. Okay, we've got some cool questions.
All right.
In the chat here. Wayne Adams, what is a deep cut song that you would like to cover in Rocket Science?
Me personally, a deep cut. Oh my goodness. If we're talking old school or like just because I love like the B-sides type songs on albums.
Right.
I love full albums, and I like a lot of the B-sides that aren't the singles. For me, I would like to do some old AC/DC, like "Touch Too Much" off the Highway to Hell album, or Night Stalker, or what is it? Night Prowler. So some old AC/DC that's like not as single,
right.
I guess, and maybe I don't know.
Wayne, for me, it's one that we're actually working on, and this is a song that Jeff and I have wanted to do ever since we started Rocket Science. We talked about it back in the day, and now it looks like we're actually trying to work it up. But we're going to do, I hope I don't get in trouble for telling people, but we're going to do Crying in the Rain, or we're going to attempt to do Crying in the Rain by Whitesnake, which is a very difficult song. The drums just are nuts. The guitar is nuts. But it just has this power to it. I mean, anybody that has the Whitesnake 1987 album, you pop that in there. I believe it's the first track. And I remember the first time I heard that, it was like, oh my God, it just grabs you. And I love that song. So that's going to be my deep cut choice.
Awesome. Great question.
Elizabeth English Talcott, who's your favorite up and coming band? You're going to answer this better than me.
Up and coming band. Gosh, I don't even know, to be honest with you. She's some of the, I don't even know who I'm listening to these days.
I mean, I honestly don't. I don't have an answer because I just don't. I'm not checking out enough new music myself.
Was it the Mudhoney or what's
I know the band that everybody thinks sounds like Led Zeppelin.
Right.
I don't know, man.
And of course, you got your who was the band that's like Led Zeppelin? What was the name?
I don't remember their. She'll probably tell us on here.
But there's also the Honey type, or man, I don't know. I don't know any of the new stuff.
She stumped us. I don't either. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like I'm ashamed to say that, but I just don't listen to much music these days. I don't know if it's just where I'm at in life or what,
but yes, John Gates, we have been approached from Lenny's, and we actually had to cancel a show at Lenny's because of all this stupid stuff that's going on in the world. But yeah, we are booked there.
It's Dirty Honey.
I'm sorry?
Dirty
Honey, yes.
Yeah. And they are a good band.
Yeah, they're cool.
Are a good band,
so,
sure.
my question is Dirty Honey.
So,
or my answer.
Rob Bear White, did you two hook up before I start? Wait, let me put this closer. Did you two hook up before I started playing together? I think that means before you started playing together, or while playing together. And what was it about each other that you knew they were the one? Don't you love questions like this?
Right. Well, I mean, we started hanging out, and we practiced a lot back then. So a lot of our free time was practicing. So and then we would go out together to socialize to get the band name out. You know how that works,
Yes.
And then you go out. So we spent a lot of time together, and then it was Napoleon Dynamite, and then we would go over, and that was the big show back then, or the movie was Napoleon Dynamite. So we would watch that together, and we'd go to a lot of barbecues and cookouts back then. That's when we were invited to a lot of like pool parties and things like that.
Back when people liked this.
Yeah.
So,
we kind of got to know each other, and then we just hung out, and before I knew it, I moved in, and then she forced me to marry her.
It was a total forced job.
Crying in the rain.
Oh, hey, okay, Wayne, we will definitely check that out.
Awesome.
Let's see here. Jennifer Biddle is asking if we've watched Coco yet. I'm so sorry. We still haven't. Girl, we have been literally up in this room every night this week.
What's Coco?
Coco's that movie. It's a movie.
Okay.
I think it's one we borrowed from Ray and Carla.
Oh.
Yeah, we have not seen it, but I'm hearing good stuff about it, so we'll add that to the list for sure.
Now, we did do the Lion King one.
Yeah, it was neat.
Yeah.
That was neat. Okay, so we're going to see if... I'm not seeing any more questions. It's 8:55, so
let's do a song, and thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and thanks for all the love, the hearts, the likes, the thumbs, the smiley faces, all the cool comments, the questions. Thank you for giving Muddflux some love, and Julie and the Retrospex. Thank you for giving them some love. We appreciate you guys. We'll come up with another fun show, and hopefully we'll have some more guests. Here we got another call coming in. Hold on.
Oh, did you already switch your Bluetooth
off?
We're
good. Hey, how you doing, Chris?
Uh-oh. No Bluetooth connection.
No, we're good. Hey, Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you fine. How you doing?
Oh, I'm just living a short life, expert at small talk, trying to rise to the occasion.
So, thank you for calling in. What's your question?
So, I wanted to ask, everyone talks about all these bands going to all these places. Let's pretend imagine, say, I'm in a band. I just moved to Tulsa. We'll call my band A New Vertical Limit. You can laugh later. I want to know, I've never been here. How would you pitch Tulsa to me? Like, you know, the food scene, like, what's good about Tulsa? What uniquely sets Tulsa apart from anywhere else that I might have played at? How would you advertise or pitch Tulsa?
I would suggest great music would be my first, because that's what Tulsa is really known for, is our music, and we got lots of talent here. So that's how one thing, and of course our bar and grills, our restaurants. I'll take you to Lady Godiva's.
Oh, nice one. That'll seal the deal for Chris Powell right there.
What was the legs and eggs?
Legs and eggs all night long.
What was the
Night
Trips?
Night Trips is the one.
Exciting.
Right. But yeah, I mean, what Scott said's right, and you know, there's just a good sense of community here. That we really do have a wonderful music scene where the people genuinely care about each other, and when bad things happen to one, the rest come around them and show support and show love. And I love Tulsa. I don't care what anyone says. To me, Tulsa is the perfect place to live.
Absolutely.
It's big enough to be like a legitimate city, but still small enough to kind of have a smaller town feel. And our music community is wonderful. And so to me, Tulsa's an easy sell.
Yeah. Thank you for your question, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
I'm so stoked about this. This is sweet.
When the world gets back together, we'll see you out and about, and we'll have some laughs together again. All right, buddy?
Definitely, 100%, bro.
All right, man.
Love you. Sweet.
All right, so let's close this out. Thank you,
Let's
guys. Make sure you friend and follow us on Facebook, Tulsa Music Stream, and we had a good time. Thank you guys for everything, and we'll see you guys next week. We're going to close it out with a little song that me, Jana, Jeff, Mark Mortensen, and Nine from Dead Mel Society, we all did a song together in the recording studio, and we did a song from a band called Accept. This is Balls to the Wall, man.
See you next time. We love you guys. Stay safe.
balls to the wall. You got your balls to the wall. Balls to the wall. Balls to the Come on, man, let's stand up all balls to the wall. Let's plug a bomb in everyone's ass. They don't keep us alive. We're gonna fight for the rights. Build a wall with the bodies of the dead, and you're saved. Balls to the wall. Make the world scared. Come on, show me the sign of victory. Sign of victory. Sign of victory. Boston down. God bless you. They're gonna break the chain. Now you can't stop them. God bless you. They're coming to get you, and then you get your balls to the wall. Balls to the wall.